Hey everybody, it's Party Elite. Welcome you back to another episode of our Planet Zoo franchise mode Let's Play, where we're going to dive into Elite Zoo North and finally complete some things that have been left incomplete for a little while now. So no time to waste with an overdrawn introduction. Just want to mention, as always, folks, if you've been enjoying this series and you'd like to see it continue, please don't hesitate to let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. I've said it countless times, and it's because it really does make a very big difference. I look at the number of likes and comments to get a quick read on what people like watching on the channel, and plus I do enjoy reading through all the comments. You'll always have great ideas and suggestions and thoughts, and it's just fun to even read through comments just, you know, in general. So I greatly appreciate it, and I wanted to thank you all for watching along. Like I said, there is a lot to do today. We're going to do the whole so I asked a couple of questions last session, and I've been getting answers. We are going to maintain the whole exhibit trading dance that we've been doing. I don't mind it personally, and most of you actually said that you'd like to see that as well, because you never know when you need a quick cash injection, and it doesn't take all that much time, in fact. So we might actually, you know, kick this session off by doing that really quickly. But there is a lot to there's a lot to take care of today in terms of, well, actually, you know, there's not that much management stuff. I'm looking at my notes right now. There's some management stuff, and we might actually end up with 2 time lapses today. So we'll see how that goes. So let's go ahead and do this first. So exhibit animals only. Ignore this. I'll take a look at that afterwards. Now, I actually got a very interesting suggestion in the comments of the last one, that rather than getting rid of the oldest, I should rather than get rid of the youngest animals here, I should get rid of the oldest animals, because then the breeding pair lasts for longer. It's not a bad idea, but at the end of the day, I do it at the top of every session anyway, so as long as the eldest aren't too old to conceive and have kids, I think I'll stick to what I've been doing. I think that's a fair way to go about it. And we also have a pregnant centipede over here, so let's keep that. I'm going to try and pay more attention to that. Let's go ahead and wait, why did I do that? Off to a great start. I meant to... All right, y'all are in the trade center. I need to select them all first. Exhibit animals. All right, cool. That's you. You guys are fine. Let's go ahead and get some of y'all taken care of. And one thing I do need to do really quickly today is just do a quick once over with the exhibit animals and make sure breeding pairs are all there. It looks like maybe the giant forest scorpion does not actually have a pair, so we'll have to check that. Get rid of some of you. I know they need more than just a pair among the golden poison frogs, so I don't want to get rid of too many of them. Get rid of some of you. Yeah, I guess we didn't have too many babies last time around. Adelita, let's get rid of you as well. And a couple of these beetles. Now, I know many of you were suggesting that I get rid of breeding pairs for some of these animals like beetles and whatnot, because their welfare isn't typically well taken care of, for lack of a better way to put it. I just have to get better at that, I think, is the way to go about it. I just think I just have to get better at that. All right, but that is 34 animals, so we can't actually do that many. Snakes are okay, so let's leave the snakes, and let's get rid of some of our selection of the frogs over here, because they're doing all right, and let's get rid of, or rather, let's keep these guys. There we go. Let's do that, and the snakes, I believe, go for... Wait, actually, we already have a few animals in the trade center. Let's just check the numbers here. Yeah, we need to get rid of 2 more, or rather, we need to keep 2 more. You know what I mean. You know what I'm getting at. Let's go ahead and keep you 2, sure. Move you out to the trade center. Again, it's a quick buck. It's a nice, easy way to make some quick, easy money. There you go, another 14k. Like, you can't really complain about 14k, right? 600, nice. Of course. 690,000 is no joke. And that extra money, you know, goes into doing things like intricate details and intricate architectural pieces and whatnot. All right, well, that's taken care of. And before I hit play, sorry, one thing I want to do before I hit play is, as many of you pointed out, it seems I'd forgotten to add the water filtration system that I said we need over here. So I've got a generator back over here. Might as well get the water filtration happening in the same spot, and that way the filtration will hopefully cover, you know, a larger area than just one enclosure. Now, actually, it was also mentioned that pandas and red pandas can share space. If that's the case, then I will most likely be doing that. I just think it's nice to have, it'll give them both more space to play and live in, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Now is a little premature to talk about that. We're not here to focus on pandas today. Oh, yes, excellent. You do fit. Beautiful. Let's see if I can't do something like that. No. Gonna have to do you like this. Works for me. It doesn't make me happy, but it works, I suppose. Sure, if I pop you down like that, and let's just do a quick check over here. I mean, it's gonna cover the water for sure. Yeah, that'll clean this up. So thank you all for pointing that out. For some reason, it had completely slipped my mind, but we've got it covered now. And let's go ahead and make sure that it is in our work zones over here. So this has got to be in our East Asia entrance area. Add you, oops, nope, there, come on now. There we go, beautiful, done. And oh, actually, I wanted to check my India center to make sure some of these are overlapped. And the ride, the boats, some of you were saying that, oh, I don't think the boats are connected. The boats are connected to work zone, so don't worry about that. We're all set there. All set there. Work zone's done. Pandas are getting clean water. I believe I can now hit play and not have to worry too much about, you know, things going horribly sideways. Let's go ahead and make sure that our pronghorn antelope over here that I forgot to get off of contraception. Well, rather, I can't do it through this menu. I have to do it through this menu. Let's go ahead and take a look at our pronghorn antelope. I could just find you. There we go. And yeah, so right. Hold on. Who's our... No one's related, I believe. And the ratio is still going to be okay. Who should be our alpha? Who do we want to be our alpha, actually? Right is in the trade center. Oh, you're right. Ontario's the new one, right? Right, we're getting rid of. Right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get you all off of contraceptives so we can start having some babies. Well, Bennu and Emma are too old, but we'll let them pass away here. Protesters have arrived at the zoo. Why? What are you protesting? What are you complaining about? There's nothing to protest. Protesting Ratu and Kat. Why are they upset? Why are you upset? What's wrong with you? Social. Space. Not enough space? Really? They can't access the water anymore. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, if I get rid of this, I don't think that'll make a difference. That's a problem. Okay, let's see. That thing, I guess that does block movement space. If I go ahead and move you over to here. Now we're about to lose Emma. I want to see how this affects. Wow, okay. Well, that's unpleasant. That's unpleasant. I was hoping we were done with all... Oh, no, there we go. So they are able to reach the water now. You're not able to reach the water, but... You're also not... What was that? That was weird. Okay, I was hoping we were done with all the water struggles, but it seems that's not the case. Amazing. Let's go ahead and pause again. So it seems the issue... Now, some of y'all were saying that the issue is specifically this shop, rather than all the shops. So, I'm actually going to edit this part out, I think. I think we've dealt with enough water issues. I'm going to edit this part out. We don't need to watch me dealing with water again, but I'm pretty sure the issue was, to those of you that missed it, Bankrupt Night Market was a little too low, I think, and the path and the stores were intersecting with the water, which is what stopped it from working. So let's go ahead and fix this. Well, I'm definitely glad I cut that section out. I'm not getting that 1.5 hours of my life back. I kid you not. That took 1.5 hours, and I'll explain why in just a second. So I just noticed some of these things are sticking out. As you might be able to tell, there have been some changes that were made to the layout over here, and I really hope it works now, because if it doesn't, honestly, the Crocs will have to deal with it. I tested it though while doing my my rework over here. They're able to walk right down, so they should be able to enter the water just fine. And lesson learned, got to do that in the future. You'll notice all the animals are missing. No Crocs, no Gharial, no tigers, no nothing, because I had to empty it all out. And I'm not going to dwell on this for much longer, but I want to explain to let you guys know, because I didn't even record it. I should have recorded it and made it into a time lapse. Oh my god, 1.5 hours. That would have been like that's a 10-minute time lapse approximately-ish. So I apologize if this episode ends up being a bit shorter as a result of that. But let me just explain what the issues were. So anybody that's watching and you know might have to deal with it in the future, you know what you might want to look out for. So over here, I had to move everything. It was not just these two elements. It was not just this corner. It was, you know, everything over here, the stores not lining up properly and stuff. That was a big problem. And more importantly, it's the path over here that was the problem. So I had to lift everything up. But it wasn't just the path over here. It was also the path over here, the path over here. And what took me forever to figure out was that the path over here was also a problem, like this little section over here. And apart from that, the path over, I like those camera controls, over here as well. And it took me forever to figure that out. But what I did do, because I had to redo this entire water, what I did do is I adjusted things a little bit over here as well. I pushed the steps back a little bit, so there's some more room over here for the boat if we want to move it over. This should probably actually be sitting over here. A little bit further back. There we go. Perfect. So yeah, there's more room over here. The elephants still have enough room. I also managed to make this symmetrical. Some of y'all pointed out that it'd be nice to actually have this be symmetrical. So I was like, all right, well, you know, we're changing everything, so we might as well do that. So yeah, there you go. Silver lining thinking. It's allowed us to create some more space for the boat over here. And I think that's a win, right? Let's call that a win. Because I think otherwise I might just go into a corner and cry. Folks, that's all the talk of water. I'm done. I never want to do this again. I never ever want to have to do this again, so I'm never doing such an ambitious water project again. Honestly, the way the water system works is a little bit of a miss, I would say. Like if I was writing a review of the game, that's definitely that and the pathing system. Big misses so far. Anyway, gonna hit play. And as I hit play, we're going to wait to see the animals arrive because I sent them all into the cleanliness is a risk over here. Why is cleanliness a risk over here? Water treatment. Call the mechanic. I think it might be because it's dealing with a lot of water and it's not fully repaired. That might be why. So hopefully that gets fixed. Can't find an accessible staff room. You'll figure it out. Oh my god. Look at this crowd. What have we got going on over here? Animal died. So Emma and Bennu died. Every once in a while I had to hit play to move animals around and stuff. So while that was happening, unfortunately, Emma and Bennu passed away, and I wasn't able to showcase that. So my apologies for those of you who are, you know, trying to keep up with deaths and things like that. Because yes, we are going to hopefully, oh my god, what's going on here? Build a memorial soon. The plan is to do that on a Sunday special, but we gotta find the time to do that. Multiple building problems. I need to see what these building problems are. All right, who here still needs research? The panda, the polar bears. We are going to get the polar bears soon, by the way. I'm feeling more and more comfortable with our financial situation, so we will eventually get the polar bears. But bigger issue right now, building problem. You guys are all able to... Yeah, you're all able to come down over here. Are vendors able to reach these? I should hope so. They're attached just like they were before. So we'll see. Animal is starving. I'll keep her over here. Got to solve some of these problems. Lots of problems have actually popped up. So we've got a vet coming in here for some reason. There we go. Keeper's just arrived. All right. Oh, the vets are right, picking up the animals. Okay, looks like some of the building issues are gone. Most of them are gone. A little bit of inbreeding about to go down over here. That is unacceptable. Amira, no, no. We're gonna get these guys just watching along. That's actually really creepy. That's actually that's really creepy. It's actually pretty cool, though. It's nice to see them all the way up over here watching the animals eat and stuff. You know what, actually? Apart from the creepiness that we just witnessed, this is pretty cool. Now, people are able to come right up to the edge over here. And they are coming right up to the edge over here, more importantly. Not just that they're able to, but they are doing it. I think happiness has dropped because I had to get rid of the animals for a moment. So I think we'll be fine. Over here, let's just quickly check. Yes, you are, in fact, able to reach into the water. Move around. Hopefully you're not going to be blocking the boats or anything. Great. And let's go ahead. And on that note, open the boats up again. Man, okay. Honestly, just this is starting to feel worse than the polar bears did. Multiple animals are stressed. Let's talk to Galapagos. I think it's because another huge crowd just came through. I mean, one thing I could do that's been suggested in the past is I could consider putting some vegetation down by the edge over here. These guys are all just like crowding around this one spot. Like, is there a tortoise in there that they're all looking at? Well, multiple habitat or exhibit problems. What's the issue over here? A little bit of stress, I'm assuming. Oh, there's so many signals right now. Power source inaccessible. Okay, I guess the path has been broken over here. And has not been fixed. This is honestly a little bit of a mess. Not a fan of how this has been working out for me. Sorry, folks. Give me a second as we just sort some of these issues out and hopefully never have to deal with them again. Animals find you to... Okay, time to pause. I gotta make sure this is placed somewhere where it actually covers everything. Right? Toilet does need power. The habitat needs power. The education boards need power. And the lights up front need power as well. Everything here needs power. Where can I put you? I can put you over here, I suppose. You will connect at the edge there. I thought I saw something. Thought I saw a connection. Come on now. Work with me, game. Okay. Go ahead and go back into this mode over here. There we go. So we are able to connect over here. Little kind of funky situation, not ideal, but I'll take it. Move you down over here. Yep. And let's go ahead and just extend this a little bit. It's just kind of funny to me that I can't get something and then place it down exactly where it was before. You know, I've had to make so many like minor adjustments to things. It's just like, why does this now have to be a little bit to the left? It didn't need to be a little bit to the left before, but now it does. Or why does the solar panel have to be in a completely different position now? Just these little strangenesses. Is that a word? I'm making it a word. These little elements that have been very difficult to deal with in these trying times. There we go. There we go. Okay, and then let's go ahead and pull some of these out. I promise you, we're not going to be spending a lot of time over here. There's a lot I want to get done today, so I don't want to be wasting time on things that, you know, have been finished 100 times. I do want to make sure, though, that we have everything covered by the power radius. Excellent. Okay, great. All right, so now the Bengal Tigers. We're about to see some fighting because of overcrowding, so that tells me, did I put too many adults in here? I guess I did. Vedika and Veer. And Amira is the mum. So you, Vedika, let's go ahead and move you back to the trade center. I know what happened. It's when I pulled them back out of the trade center, I pulled too many tigers in. That's what happened. Let's go back to our Bengal Tigers. So yeah. Aradhya, no. Amira and Veer are the ones who are supposed to be out right now. They're one pair, and then Atharv and Aradhya are the other pair. So right now we have Veer and Amira. Yes. Kiara. Let's go ahead and unbox you. I need to keep an eye out for where they have trouble. I wonder if it's because of these things being too low. That's the only thing I can think of. And I wonder if just adjusting these a little bit will do the trick. Because I'd rather not have to keep an eye on them getting boxed and having to unbox them so often. Feels, you know, a little wrong. No other way to put it. Go ahead and put you over here. Right, and let's go ahead and... I'm going to have to take care of enrichment and stuff as well. Honestly, doing this has kind of thrown me off my game. I had a game plan coming in today, and now I feel a little rough around the edges. Let's unpause, and I just want to check really quickly over here. If we look at the habitat, you're still able to get up here. Using the tree, I think. Not able to stay in the middle there, though. So what's gone wrong over here now? Push you further back. Does that give you better access? It's just both, like, passed out over there. I feel you. I feel you. So you are able to get up here still. Let's go ahead and push this a little bit further back again. Or actually, I don't think it's that tree. It might be this other tree. Pull you over a little bit. Pull you over that way a little bit. And let's see if we still have access. Not just about having access, but also if we're able to rest up there. Looks like we're able to get up over here, yeah. I think we can do better than that, though. I think we can do better than that. Because they used to be able to just, like, straight up sleep there, and I don't think I've seen that in a while. They're able to come up here. I guess the grid is being hidden by the resting, like the bedding. Looks like. They're not able to get up there now, though. They were able to before we moved these trees around. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and redo that. Change. All right. Okay. This seems to be a problem, though. Let's see if you're a little bit lower. I'm not gonna... That's it. That's the last thing I'm gonna do. Unless it breaks everything, that's the last thing I'm gonna do here. Well, they can get up to there. Alright, I'm gonna undo that. Leave it be. We'll go in and make adjustments to the tree and stuff some other time. Unless y'all want to see it right away. Let me know, as always. Okay, what have I done? What have I not done? So the antelopes are no longer on contraceptives, if I'm not mistaken. I took care of that nice and early. And again, my apologies, folks. The whole water thing has completely thrown me off my rhythm here. I'll get it back soon enough. But I need to make sure... pronghorn antelope, that I'm not missing a trick. Okay, cool, yes. The antelopes I did do. Then I had the panda area, has the water treatment facility now. Just going over my notes again really quickly. Right, I needed to. Down over here, it was pointed out that... Nope, going too far now. Down over here, it was pointed out that we have a store that's not covered. There's a couple little incomplete elements that require some completion. I believe that's the only store that's not covered. Indeed it is. So it's a Gulpy Energy. It's an unnamed Gulpy Energy. So if you have a name suggestion for that, don't hesitate to let me know down below, as always, in the comments. And on the topic of names, I do have some that I'll be implementing today as well. I've got some names for the elephant enclosure. I've got some names for some elephants, again, submitted by patrons and members and just commenters in general. So I've got those all settled down, or settled upon, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. And I also have, I have one more thing that was a very interesting suggestion that didn't even occur to me, so when I do it, I'll let you know what that was. For now, let's just nudge you back if I can. I guess I can't. Okay, well then you can just stay exactly where you are. Cool, done. Nice. Yeah, just trying to finish, just trying to cap off some of these rough edges, I suppose. Okay, all the alerts have basically disappeared. Facility inaccessible. You're kidding me. You think you've done everything, but you haven't. What am I looking at? Flattened terrain, maybe? Okay. Can we just work, please? Honestly, I can't do this anymore. Come on now. Why? Why can I not? There, just tunnel. Just put a giant hole in the ground. I don't care. See, and the thing is, the path, I don't think the path will even allow me to connect over here because it's a curved path, and sometimes it acts funny about that kind of stuff. The pathing system in this game is terrible. Like, there is... I don't very easily lose my patience, but I have no hesitation with that statement. Alright, folks. Time for another cut. I really can't believe that I had to move those toilets down over here. Just the path just wasn't connecting. It refused to connect under any circumstances. Anyway, it is what it is. Moving on after we seal that gap over there. Hopefully we were able to move on. What is this? What are you? You're a heater. Okay, fine. You can stay here. You I'm not angry at. It's not your fault. It's not your fault, heater. All right. Okay. Moving on. I think, hopefully. Hit play. Hopefully everything's accessible. Facility, it's an ATM. That's fine, that's fine. This we can just move. This we can just move over to where? Somewhere. Somewhere I'm sure I can put you down so we can get money off of people. So we can pay for these useless moves that we have to do every once in a while. It's weird, it's actually not letting me snap and put it down over here. Uneven placement. Just somewhere, game. Sure. Done. Done. Problem solved. It'll be accessible. Just takes a moment for it to update. Not facility without power. Oh my god. I'm losing my mind, folks. I'm losing my mind. I just added a second. I just added another one. I just added another one. or my work zone, Southeast Asia. Go ahead and add you in there. Just because the problem is the pathing system won't let me put one down over here like I used to have. It also won't let me put one down over here because I can't attach anything to the curved path over here for some reason. I don't know. Maybe am I missing a? You see, now I can't. I can't. If I'm holding down Z, it doesn't work. Turn on T junctions, it doesn't work. Nothing does the trick. So I'm not even going to bother anymore. We've got 2 solar panels like 3 feet away from each other, exaggerating obviously, and they're powering everything over here. Fine. Done. Hit play. Moving on. Can't find an accessible staff room. Good. You'll do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. American Bison having some trouble over here. I just want to move on. What's the problem? Who is the father here? I actually didn't label these guys, which is a bit of a problem. Offspring, 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 offspring. They're all expecting offspring. Who is the imposter? Who is the older among you? Let's see if we look at our animals. Watkins is the older one, so Walkley. I'm not trying to pronounce that. Let's go ahead and send you to the trade center. We'll deal with that later. I will mention, though, for Yanasi Plains, now many of you were mentioning that Yanasi Plains needs a bit of an upgrade. Totally. It wasn't completed way back when I first did it, and it's not complete now. But I actually got an excellent suggestion for what to do for Yanasi Plains, and I'm going to implement that. But that today, we're not going to do that today. The title is already given away, I hope. I'm certain the title's given away what we're working on today. Today we're going to be working on the Flamingos. That's my hope. So Yanasi Plains, though, I've got a great idea. I'll be executing that sometime soon. Maybe this week, maybe next week, but we're definitely filling in some of the gaps and completing some of the things that have been left incomplete for so very long. Shawnita is about to pass away from old age as well. We're doing some more research over here. Fantastic. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and just say hello to... Of course, can't even get all my conservation credits. The game is just against me today. Just doesn't want to work with me. Shawnita has passed away, or is in the process of, right in the mud bath. Call the vet. All right, done. No protesters. Inspector has arrived. I have no idea how that's going to go. Hopefully it goes pretty well. Enrichment is pretty poor across the board. I mean, I don't want to pause it to do this work, but if I don't pause, you know, I'm not going to pause it. Let's just see if I can beat the inspector. Another ice ball. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at habitat, enrichment, toys for the tapir. Let's go ahead and get the plant screen down. Haven't had that in a while, right? Put you down over there. That should help a fair bit. 71%. Let's go ahead and get a sprinkler down, perhaps. Been a while since we've had sprinklers. 83%. Maybe if we get another one. Nah, 2's not doing the trick. Oh, food enrichment is low as well. Species food enrichment. So let's go ahead and take a look at food enrichment. And maybe we get you a barrel feeder? Sure. Done. 100%. Okay, beautiful. Box for too long. Unbox all animals over here. So that is animal number 1 taken care of. Over at the grotto, you're going to see Aradhya, who hopefully is doing okay. Where are you, buddy? Oh my god, where are you? Is that you? They're so tiny. That is you. Enrichment is low. Toy and food enrichment. Okay. So let's take a look at our Guriel. Night's fallen anyway. We don't really have much for them. Oh, that's food. Toys. What do you already have here that you don't like? The rubbing pad has become boring. Fair enough. Don't have to be so judgmental. Water jet enrichment. That's new. Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and pop you down over here. See what that does to your enrichment. If I can find you again. They're so tiny. I can't click on them. I can barely click on them. So the water jet is helpful. The blood pumpkin, though, is kind of boring. I guess, no, you know what? The blood pumpkin issue is quantity. It seems. There we go. 30 out of 36. And let's put one down over here as well. There we go. 40 out of 36. And then let's go ahead and get another toy, though. A small ball, perhaps. Coming out to play. Look like you're coming out to play. There we go. 100%. Beautiful. No time to waste. Over to the Grizzly Grove where Idris, who I think just ran by me. Is that you, Idris? That is you. You are pretty happy. Toy enrichment is kind of low, so let's go ahead and take a look at our Grizzly Bear options here. What do they already have? Prey Scented Sack is getting boring, and the Herb Scent Marker is getting boring. There we go. I was like, I'm going to have a hard time finding it in this darkness, but no, we found it. So let's go ahead and get you the Wind Chimes. You seem to enjoy those when they were down here. Go ahead and pop you down right next to where you sleep. Seems like a fitting place. 94%, that's pretty good. Indian Peafowl fighting you to incorrect sex ratio. Let's go ahead and just... It's a storage center. All y'all fighting over here. The storage center. Or trade center, I should say. Alright. Gariel done, Tapir done, Grizzlies are happy. Habitat 23 needs to be renamed. And I have a name for it now as well. Adia, how are you doing? Toys are getting boring. Alright, so we've got the Mud Bath and the Rubbing Pillar are both... Whoops, that's a tree. That's not the Rubbing Pillar. Come on. There we go. Get rid of you. Again, I'm trading them out because I want to make sure they don't get bored of the old toys. Indian Elephant. We need our toy. Ooh, that's super cool looking. Just something for them to push around, I guess. I wonder if they could do it over here. Let's try it. See if they can't use that. Waterfall and metal. Oh, man, we have so many cool toys for them. No wonder they're bored of their old toys. They got so many cooler options. Yeah, definitely need another one. So let's go ahead and put this like over here, I think makes sense, right? Let's do it over here. Or actually, let's try and get a good view from up there. So yeah, let's do it over here. Okay, their enrichment is at 100%. And that is a... Yeah, it's an active waterfall. I now wonder if I should move it like down to here. Right? And then it kind of feels like a part of the boat ride and whatnot. And their enrichment is also maxed out. Yes. Kind of bored of this. Let's go ahead and get rid of you so they don't get completely bored of you. If I could pick you. Come on. Come on now. Animal has escaped. Deal with that in a second. I can't select this thing. Game's just straight up not letting me select it. Alright. Animal has escaped. How did the peafowl get out? How did you get out? Legitimately, how did this one get out? Such escape artists. I suspect foul play. Alright, looks like bankrupt, thankfully, was good. Tigers are happy, so that's good. I'm really curious to see them play with this stuff, though. You guys are overall happy. Now, they're social. They do need a bigger social group. We need to get a third elephant, actually. And that is something I've been mulling about for a bit. Let's go ahead and take a quick look over here. It's not going to arrive in time for the inspection, but I do still want to try and get another Indian elephant. Let's go ahead and filter you. Come on now. There we go. Oh, these names. Come on, guys. Come on, guys. We need a female anyway. God. Damn. Oh, not the best genetics there or there. These are all listings. Are you serious? These aren't good elephants. These are not decent elephants. I mean, maybe once they have a baby and the baby becomes an adult, we'll be okay. What's the deal here? Low welfare again. I'm guessing it's because of cleanliness. Yeah, that's a different problem. That's a different problem altogether. If we look at their social group, though. Group is too large. All right. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of them. Still trying to bounce back from the whole distraction earlier. I apologize if I'm moving a little slow today. Definitely feel a little slow right now. Definitely feeling it right now. There we go. Just select a bunch of you and just get you out of here. That's all of them. Don't want to get rid of all of them. There. Another trade center. Done. Now let's go ahead and get rid of them right away. Make that extra 2.3k. Done. And hopefully now they're feeling a little bit better. The cleanliness is a problem, but that's a whole different issue. Social group, they're feeling fine though. That's the thing that's directly in my control. All right, where were we? So we've done things for the inspection, so we should be fine. The next thing I want to do is, you know what? Let's replace some of their toys as well. Oh, food enrichment drops down to 0 when they kill the air quotes, the zebras. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool, because they have to get replaced. Interesting. But they need new toy enrichment as well. That's starting to get a little boring for them. Get rid of the fire hose ball. Let's go ahead and get rid of the prey-scented sack as well. And what else? Oh, look at the little kiddo run. Hunting the buddy down there. He's just trying to get out of here. Nope, nope, nope. Yeah, see, the foods are... Oh, that's pretty cool, actually, that it works that way. Never noticed that before. Bengal Tiger. Let's go ahead and get you some toys here. I haven't had a rubbing pad for a while, and a scratching post. I really like the idea of the scratching post. Let's go ahead and put it down somewhere a bit more accessible. Really? You gotta move the terrain around like that? Sure, that's the least offensive spot, I would say. Put one of those down, and let's get a rubbing pad down as well, maybe over here. 85%, okay, and we can get a sprinkler down as well. Thing is, I want it to be close to people over there. I also wouldn't mind having better views from up over here, so we go the sprinkler down over here. No, we can't put it down over there. Over there? Sure, that works better at least. Kind of like smooth this out. There we go. There we go, 87%. Once the second pinata comes in, we'll be fine. Oh my god, look at that. That's adorable. Are you about to use the rubbing pad? Come on. Don't just stare at it. You know what? You know you want to. You know you want to. Come on. Come on. You know what this game needs? I don't know if anybody who's watching ever played the black and white games. There were games where it was a god game and you had a pet creature in it. And you could just zoom into the creature and you could pet it. Like your cursor was a hand, and you could like give it scratches behind the ear and belly rubs and stuff, and it would react to it. That was just a small part of the game. Planet Zoo needs that. Planet Zoo needs that. What are we looking at over here? Anybody else I can say hello to? Yes. The second handshake of the day. Inspector, 5 stars so far. Vet research more completed. What else is this? More panda stuff, more scorpion stuff. All right, good stuff. Am I feeling comfy? I'm feeling comfy. Let's go ahead now and get back on track over here. So I had a couple of names for these elephants. Looks like they have been playing, so that's good. I've got a couple of names for these elephants. So Siddharth, we're going to rename. We're going to call you... and correct me in my pronunciation if it's wrong, but Gajananda. Gajananda is apparently, it translates to God with the trunk, and I believe that's Marathi, but correct me again if I'm wrong. So that's one name suggestion we've got in, and then the other name suggestion for our female elephant, who's taking a little dip right now, for Adya is, where are we? Ellie, because elephant, I mean, come on. You can't say no to something like that. So that's our name suggestions for the elephant. We have a name suggestion for the enclosure as well that I will put in during the first time lapse, first of 2 time lapses. I have a name as well for, oh yeah, this is the interesting thing. It didn't even occur to me, but if you, so today in the comments, I'm going to have a pinned comment. And if you're a patron or a channel member, you let me know which staff member you want to be named as. So, you know, pick a job basically, and I'll get your name in here. Now, not everyone, it's gonna kind of be like first come first serve, I guess, or I'll pick names out of a hat because everyone's gonna want something. Some people aren't going to want to, like, people aren't going to want to be everything. So you tell me what you want to be, and I'll pick names out of a hat afterwards for first picks. But first things first, we have the one who actually suggested this to us. And again, I actually don't know if I can do this letter in the game, so we're going to just try copy pasting it. Let's go ahead with our 5-star. I mean, I'm sure our first 5-star, sure. Cool, we can. Let me know if you would rather be somebody else. Of course, lots of things to worry about when I'm naming people after patrons, but you know, We can't get too specific, though, I guess. I'm just going to have to put names in because if we get too specific, then, you know, there's too many things to consider. But yeah, if you want, that's what we're going to do today. So if you want to be named after one of our staff members, let me know who you'd like to be named, like which job you'd like to have and what name you'd like to use. And again, if you're a channel member, I can tell easily when you reply to the pinned comment, I can see a little icon next to your name. But if you're a patron, then send me a private message on Patreon as well, just so I, know who's who. Helps me make the connections and make sure the right people get their names in. Anyway, sorry, that was a quick distraction. Now we are actually going to go ahead and dive on into our first time lapse, I think, and finish off the elephant enclosure, and then hopefully we'll have enough time to do another one today. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling tired already. Just the whole this Southeast Asia thing, big undertaking, and worth it, but also exhausting. Anyway, enough distractions. It's time lapse time. All right, folks, it's always nice when a long-term project comes to its end, and that's what we're doing with our first time-lapse today. Yep, I can confirm 2 time-lapses today. It's actually ended up being an extremely long session to record. It was 3.5 hours time spent recording, and it's funny to see how long the episode ends up as after you get all the time-lapses and stuff done. 3.5 hours. I think that's the longest recording session I've done for Planet Zoo. In one sitting. Anyway, let's get back on topic over here. I was waiting for this distraction over here. I realized as I was going through the lighting for the elephant enclosure, I realized that we never actually got around to doing these lights, and I hit save over here because I knew exactly what the game was going to do. It was going to crash, and it did. So I'm definitely glad I hit save over there. But anyway, that was a quick distraction that I wanted to just take care of because it had been on my mind for days, and I keep forgetting when I'm playing to implement it, and then today I realized that that the lights are right there, so I just decided to get it out of the way. But as always, folks, trying to integrate lighting into our construction ever since we keep the zoo open at night. I want to make sure that we're never in a position where we can't see anything. Yeah, so getting the lighting in there, but perhaps more importantly, getting the roofing done. And on the topic of the roofing, I just want to say there were some excellent suggestions in the comments. I wholeheartedly agree with the vast majority of you. So basically, the opinion was either that the roof was, or the ceiling was extremely clunky, or no opinion was given. So when I say vast majority, I basically mean all of you who expressed your opinion. I agree. I felt like it was way too clunky, and I think that's the issue I was having with it. The clunkiness was just not right. So instead, I'm going with something a bit more lightweight looking. Some of you suggested trying to integrate like a glass roof kind of a situation, because that way you've got cover from rain, just cover from the elements, but it still feels the part. I wholeheartedly agree. It feels the part from a profile view, or from like, at a quick glance, it still feels like it's a, old building, but it does have some modernity to it. It is a new building still. We are building this in, the 21st century. So why not get the glass in there? Why not help make things look and feel a bit more lightweight and modern? Anyway, enough rambling. I think you get what I mean. It's I really like the idea, and so I went ahead with it. And you can see, obviously, still trying to infuse the classic temple style look, temple palace style look, despite that glass. I want to minimize the impact of that visual change. And I also used an architectural piece that was, again, no interruption of the silhouette. It lays flat, doesn't get in the way, doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. Really happy with how it actually fits in nicely. But you can see here, just trying to build out this entrance area. Eventually, I add the name of the enclosure there, but we'll get to that later. For now, though, just trying to just sort of build this entrance area, make it feel a bit more interesting, rather than just a just a sudden transition from no roof to roof. I also put down those 3 sort of, I think the game calls it Indian temple. Put those 3 pieces up top. Some of you suggested that maybe pulling those pieces from the center and using them on the ceiling over here would be a good idea. And again, completely agreed. I think it breaks the silhouette nicely. It breaks the silhouette with the right shape. And it certainly makes me think about the architectural style as well. This feels like something that fits right in terms of being accurate, so to speak. Again, accuracy isn't my prime concern, but anytime we get kind of a low 3/4 angle, in my opinion at least, it feels right. It fits the part, so to speak. So I'm really happy with how this roofing is working out. And you can see, I wonder if you can tell when I'm satisfied and when I'm not, because I obviously can, because I can feel it. But looking back at it, looking at the pace of my decision making and how quickly I'm just placing pieces down, copying pieces over, it feels like I can tell. Personally, I can tell that, oh yeah, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with what I'm doing now. I'm feeling a lot more satisfied with what I'm doing now. But yeah, don't worry about the little floating pieces off to the right there. We get rid of them eventually after the time lapse. But it's coming together pretty nicely. Again, that's just my opinion. I want to know your thoughts as well. So if you have any additional opinions or any additional changes or edits you'd suggest or like to see, let me know in the comments. I am probably going to call the elephant enclosure done for now. We're going to move on from it. In fact, the second time lapse is completely unrelated to the elephants. We're going to move on from it, and then we're going to maybe come back to it later when we get the rhinos in here as well. Now you can see I actually realized I made a mistake when I grouped things up and duplicated them, so I have to fix them. It'd be really nice if the game, again, I'm just throwing out ideas that come to mind because, you know, in future Planet games, I'd like to see some of these things. Again, I'd mentioned previously that I've done a little bit of 3D modeling and stuff when I was, you know, much younger, but a concept that's used is instancing. And what that means is basically rather than just duplicating something, you're duplicating it, but you're also making a reference to the original piece. So when you change the original piece, all of the instances change as well. And you see that in 3D and 2D like software a lot of the time, where you use a template basically, and you can, if you change the template, everything that was built off of that template changes as well. I'd really like to see that integrated into this otherwise extremely intricate and capable building system. Anyway, so you can see I'm just kind of sealing off the edges over here. There's still, you know, there's some things that I will say I'm not entirely pleased with. I'm getting to them in just a moment's time, but you'll see every once in a while, like I'll have these little things that don't fit perfectly. And I just kind of go like, why don't you fit perfectly? And I know why. It's because I made a mistake somewhere, but it's not the end of the world. But it is something that grinds my gears, I suppose. And over here you can see I make a bit of a mistake, but overall it ends up working out perfectly. My intent here was that the elephants would use that narrow stairway in the center to go up and down and into this watery area. Maybe, you know, I don't primarily want them here. I primarily want them at the other riverside, I guess we should call it. But that's not the mistake. The mistake is I leave this little gap down over here in the corner, so they have no reason to use those stairs, so they can just use the gap down there. But they do end up using that space, which is nice to see, and they are able to fit through the staircase as well, which is also nice to see. It's all coming together real nice. I'm really happy with how this has ended up. There's some nuances here and there that I'll need to fix when we put the rhinos in, and there are some things that I might do a second pass on, especially this corner over here. You'll see I struggle a little bit with this corner, because we have the boat kind of going through, and I wanted to do something interesting, and I felt like the pieces just weren't there. I believe now is when first we cap off the flooring over here. Thankfully, we can shrink the grid enough and it fits nicely. Sticks out a little bit, but it sticking out actually works nicely to blend in with the columns and whatnot, so I don't mind that at all. But yeah, with the corner, it doesn't have the pieces that I wanted. I mean, that sounds, it's a strange way to phrase it. It's implying that the game should have certain pieces. There we go again, me nervously saving. I just mean, I was hoping to be able to do something more interesting than what I end up doing. So you'll see in a moment's time. First though, I decide to build some more of these little corner pieces. Quantity. There needs to be plentiful shapes. The silhouette needs to break often. Repetition is beautiful. Like, if you ever look at some of these old intricate Indian like temples and palaces and castles and forts, my god, the level of detail is just ridiculous. So I wanted to try and emulate that as well as possible. But you can see I do make some adjustments over here to make it stand out a little bit, to make it feel a little different in those corner pieces. Just get rid of the triptych, I suppose, of temple pieces. The game calls them temple pieces again, and make it a singular piece at the corner instead. So it's sort of like a watchtower kind of a thing. I don't know. I'm liking how it's looking and feeling. And now we're working on this little corner piece over here. And I just don't. This doesn't feel like that pillar on its own would be able to hold up this corner, obviously. So I decided I actually have to like bulk it up a little bit. And in order to bulk it up, I have to bring in a completely different type of piece. I use this like little cylinder over here to make a fake column, but I haven't used that anywhere else. So, you know, it doesn't really look like anything else I've done. With that said, I could use that elsewhere. I can see, you know, that being a repeating cylinder as well, becoming a repeating half cylinder is a nice shape, and it's also very reminiscent of, you know, some of the buildings in India. Again, I think Mughal era buildings, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's fine, this corner area. But if y'all have any thoughts on what we can do, feel free to share, because I just it's not perfect, you know, and nothing in life is perfect. You know, nothing will ever be perfect. But I feel like that could be a little bit better at least. Here's a fun thing. Now, they say practice makes perfect, but nothing's perfect, so why practice? I kid. Always practice. Anyway, back over here, we are going to go ahead and finally put down the name, and there were a lot of very excellent suggestions. I had a hard time picking, as I always do, because y'all are very good and clever with the names, but I ultimately went with the Ivory Palace. Now, many of the name suggestions were focused around the elephants, and I loved them. They were focused around like Ganesh and things like that, and I loved that as well. Lots of cool suggestions, but ultimately the one that I think struck most of the chords here was the Ivory Palace, and there were some permutations of Ivory Palace, but again, we're going to get rhinos in here as well. All of our education boards are about poaching and stuff, so it felt very fitting for what we're talking about in this area. So really happy with the name. Again, thank you very much for the suggestions. I really appreciate y'all's involvement in this kind of stuff. It makes it so much more, you know, fun and interactive, I think. So I hope y'all enjoy, you know, seeing your names picked or even not get picked. I hope you don't mind when your name doesn't get picked. But you can see I messed around with lighting a little bit. Power sources are a bit of a problem, but ultimately I decide I kind of like its more dimmed down look. Yeah, I believe that's everything taking... No, it's not, right? There's one last big thing to do. But yeah, the Ivory Palace. I like it. I really like how it's looking all together. And I decide to get rid of this eyesore in the corner as well. Give these guys some coverings. And I will actually... I don't cover the roof in this time-lapse, but eventually in the next time-lapse that I come back here for the rhinos, we'll go ahead and cover these guys up. And for now, though, it's just a matter of, you know, using those wall pieces, using these pillar pieces, just sealing off the ugly gray... I don't even know what that... It looks like fabric held together. Like wood and fabric is what that looks like. To me, at least. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. But... oh, and you'll notice over here, actually, by just barely allowing the pillars to clip through the other, I don't know what to call it, the other piece, the decorative element just sneaks out ever so slightly. It's a nice little detail, I suppose. And then actually flipping the pillars upside down also creates a nice effect, I think, at least at the top there. Feels very, again, like blended Greco-Indian, which is a thing. Boy, is it. And we're going to talk more about that later. But, yeah, just going to cap this off again, try and make it a bit more interesting to look at than just a squared off, you know, block, because I've done enough of that. We can do something a little bit more fancy over here, get the colors to match, get it to fit the area and the aesthetic. But yeah, there isn't much left in this time lapse. The next one over is going to be another big one where we try to tackle an entirely new aesthetic, actually, so I'm excited to start talking about that. But for now, folks, as I wrap things up, just want to say again, as always, let me know your thoughts on the updated, upgraded, and quote-unquote finished Ivory Palace and all this stuff that's around it. All right, that's that time-lapse done, and I think the elephant enclosure, or what we're calling the elephant enclosure for now, has been completed. So we've got the Ivory Palace, and if the name doesn't give it away, then yes, I have decided that the rhinos and elephants will be sharing a space. Now, many of you, many of you, I'll call it keeper to this area and a mechanic as well. Many of you have said that the Indian elephant and the Indian rhino are able to coexist. Now, here's the thing. When you take a look at Zoopedia, and you take a look at, let's take a look at the Indian elephant over here. If I can find it. Where are you? There you are. If you look at Intraspecies Enrichment, this screen only talks about bonuses that you get by putting animals together. You don't have to have a bonus when you put animals together. You can also just go with two animals together that don't give each other bonuses, which you explained to me in the comments. So thank you very much for that. So based on that, based on what you've said in the comments and based on planetzoopedia.com, which is a very good comprehensive guide. No, I haven't been paid to say this or anything. Many of you have pointed it out in the comments, and I use it for a reference every once in a while. But using that as a reference, it says that rhinos and elephants, at least the Indian variety, can in fact coexist. So we're going to make this a shared space, and eventually we might expand it into this area as well, so that the temple will kind of have like a garden area. So if this is the Ivory Palace, then this will be, well, there were a lot of garden variety names as well, so we might do something like that. Anyway, I think that's that time lapse done. Let's go ahead and hit play, and I would very much like to move on to other animals and other parts of the zoo as well today. Again, might get a start, might not get a finish, but might at least get a start, so we aren't, so we're not stagnant. We're not just sort of sitting still. I never liked that. So we're at just about 700k. Money's looking good. Staff is having some issues, but they'll figure themselves out. They're already figuring themselves out. These visiting players, I can say hello to. Oh, right, because the game crashed during that time lapse, didn't it? It did, yeah. Okay, I was like, why can I say hello again? That's why. Anyway, our conservation credits are looking good. Let me just take a look at animal trading really quickly. I just can't remember what I have in storage here. Right, I have a couple of peafowl. Let's go ahead and release you to the wild. Go for it. And another one. The peafowl are more pain than anything else. Right, we can probably send off for a good bit of money actually. And Wally, I'm not sure how to say this. We can probably trade. I mean, I don't know. Let's try 100, right? Don't want to try anything too over the top. I don't need to check out of here though. Let's go ahead and get you traded. No, let's just quick trade. No, sorry, let's release you to the wild. Hey, I guess it worked out that the clicks weren't registering. It happened for the better there. Right. Okay, how much we could try like a good 150. He's a solid specimen, right? These aren't bad stats. 75, 67 gold, decent appeal as well. A little bit on the older side, which is why I'm not going like 200 or anything. I think 150 should be fine. Let's try it. Now trade history. I keep forgetting. How do I wish you could set by date. Did we trade him out? Is he already gone? No, he's still here. See, like, why is there that negative? Oops. What does that mean? I can't even click to get details. Like, I purchased him for that much? I don't know. It's whatever. All right, so rain is coming down pretty hard, which is unfortunate, but we'll deal with that later. This needs to be edited. Didn't notice this floating. Thank God there's no like physics simulation or anything in this game. Lose a bunch of guests to pillars falling on them. That would probably not be ideal. All right, done. What's going on over here? Having a good time? I love they kick up dirt like this. Good stuff. This is a pretty cool addition, I think. Hopefully people are queuing up for the boat rides. They are, and hopefully we have enough boats going around, not getting stuck. What's going on here? What's going on here? Do I have to set, where are we? What am I looking for? Entrance, exit, there we go. Don't block station. That's what it was. Are you gonna keep going? What's the problem here? A little bit of troubleshooting never hurt anybody. Over here as well, we want to make sure that we are looking at don't block station. It definitely does something. It triggers a little something there. These things like animate a little bit when I click that. And power is reaching here. That's not an issue. We were powering over here and we were powering over there as well. That's not the problem. Over here, let's set you to don't block entrance as well, or don't block station as well. It should make a difference. I wonder if this happened because, no, you can't edit it when it was active, and I wasn't editing it while it was active or anything like that. And like, why isn't this boat going? Oh, okay, here's what we'll try. If I go ahead and set your minimum load, I keep forgetting which one. There we go, that one. Minimum rider load, any load. We do that. Over here as well. over here. Minimum rider load to any load. Okay. I don't understand. I don't understand. Sorry, it's bothering me. There we go. Alright, these guys are just, they're just not moving. And I have no idea why. Rather, I have no idea why not. Paths are connected, everything's good. Let us go ahead and maybe close and restart the ride. It's the only thing I can think of. Now it moves. Okay, let's open it up again. Let's see what happens here. So everyone's gonna leave because that's what they wanted to do, right? Now they're hungry and stuff. You from where? From up over here? Are you kidding me? You know, I should maybe block this path out. I should maybe block that path out. Now, can they actually get up through here? Yes, they can. Excellent. That's what I was hoping for. Are you serious? You're drinking water. Oh, man. Watching elephants drink water is one of the most, like... I don't know. I find it so fascinating. Isn't that... Like, imagine putting water up your nose so you could drink it. I don't know. I think it's cool. I love elephants. Actually, I noticed, I was going to mention this last session, but a lot of the time people will be like, oh man, can we get this animal next? Are you planning on doing this other animal, etc., etc.? And like 9 out of 10 times, if not more often, I'm like, oh yeah, I love that animal. Absolutely, we're going to include it. And I kept saying like, oh yeah, I love, you know, elephants, I love tigers, I love this, I love that, I love the other. I realized I just love all the animals. I just love all the animals. Like, well, let's say 90%. I'm sure there are animals that I'm not thinking of right now that I like less or that I don't like. But of the ones that I'm thinking of, I can't think of any animals. Go ahead and... Okay, what animals do you not like or dislike? I'm curious. I can't think of animals I dislike right now. Right off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. Of course, it's not going to snap properly there. Come on. There. Block that part off, and that way... we are going to have you using this more often and then using this more often, hopefully. Now, where's our other buddy? There you are. What's weird as well to me is that... wow, of course, perfect timing. Perfect timing. What's weird to me as well is that they can only use one side of these little temple structures, and I'm not exactly sure why. Not exactly sure why, like how that makes sense. I wonder, like, let's try something here real quick. If I just nudge that up ever so slightly. Then what happens? Ah, there we go. There we go. And if I get rid of some of these pillars, then they'll be able to go in all directions. Okay, well that answers that question. I had a feeling that's what it was. So basically it's that on the one side, for some reason, the height of these two pieces is just a little too steep, I guess. The drop is a little too steep. So, sort that out, and we should be good. Through, 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 and through. Okay, beautiful. Great, excellent. Why would you literally take a dump where you sleep? Where is our elephant over here? Have you come through? I'd love to see them actually come through the walkways and the passages I've made for them. Where did you go? They can go through this way as well. I really like this enclosure, I'm not going to lie. I think it's actually really nice and intricate. It's got a lot of interesting details. I really like this enclosure. I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with it. Animal is starving. Well, that's not a good thing to see. Not in their ideal... Okay, so hold on. Call a vet. Call a vet? No, call a keeper. Keeper's en route. Animal not in ideal temperature. Well, that's because you've decided to swim out to where it's cold. Where are our heaters? There's one. Go ahead and duplicate you, put you down. On this boat, maybe? That'll do the trick. Looks like the boat ride's working properly over here, so that's good. Let's take a look at our temperatures real quick. Hopefully we'll warm the water up. Pop another one down over here. That should do the trick up there. Warming this entire area up. Okay, cool. Yeah, these guys are hungry. I don't know why their keeper hasn't been here in a while. And I thought we saw him coming through. These guys are starving. You guys are starving. There we go. Took a sweet time. Took a sweet time. All right. This frame rate is killing me right now. The snow is killing me right now, actually. People are coming through. Feels good. How are our tigers doing, actually, in terms of donations? Decently. There's quite a few donation boxes. There we go. So it's like finding the prime ones to see. There we go. All right. We're making sweet cash off these tigers. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Again, I do wish that when you look at your finances, you could see the donations split up by per animal. Now, many of you were actually saying that you need a minimum profit of 10K to allow polar bears to come through. And since I have this window open, I figured I'd point out that we are currently, like this month, we did a lot of construction, so money's a little bit lower. A lot of refunds. I think a lot of refunds are from people who are looking for polar bears and not finding them. But my point being, looks like we do have enough wiggle room to maybe get some polar bears back in. Looks like it. So, you know, that's something to think about. I've been meaning to cover all these heaters up with rocks and stuff. I should get on that. Now, over here, looks like we could use a heater over here as well. There we go. Warm these guys up. There we go. Okay, both elephants are up here. I don't know. Oh, yeah, that's so cool. You can actually... They walk through. They walk through. Beautiful. All right, so they're having their fun. They're living their best life. What's going on over here with our pandas? Facility broken down. The ATM. It's so... Why is this session having so many issues? Like, out of nowhere, everything's having problems. Right, so the pandas. They were having a good time last I saw. I mean that in all senses of the word. But I don't think... Unless these count, I don't think... Yeah, we're not expecting a baby, unfortunately. All good. All good, all good. We'll focus on them later, but I think it's time maybe to already dive into our second time lapse of the day. Because, yeah, we've got this going. Looks like the boats are moving through okay. Looks like the crocs... Oh, you know what? They are kind of getting in the way, but... Well, let's see what happens over here, right? Let's see what happens over here. Gonna come through. That fence doesn't actually exist. Don't worry about it. And now you manage to get by. All right, excellent. Now, it's got to be terrifying. Well, and you see this is arriving. People are pretty happy. People are very happy, it looks like. The use of the crocs and stuff. Feel rested after going to Crocomole. Sure, sounds good. Oh, so I guess some of these folks went all the way to the marketplace and then came back. All right. What do we got going on over here? Now, another suggestion that I got was to add sound effects and stuff as you go by on the boat, and that's a great idea. I think I will do that, but we'll do that some other time. I just want to see everyone here. How many of you get through? Not that many, really. There's more spots there. That doesn't make any sense. There's more spots in that ride. And what's going on with our other boats? You're all the way over there, and our third one? Where's our third one? There's the third one. Oh, yeah, okay, there we go. Okay, cool. How many people are on this one? 2 guys? 3 or 4? A couple people over here? Well, at least we're seeing some use, right? We're seeing some use. It'll become more popular. Indian peafowl, again, some issues over here. Listen. You. Off you go. Get rid of some of these males. How old are you? Come on, sit still. Sit still, I said. You are kind of old. All right. Let's go ahead and release you in the wild. It's the peafowl wild. How bad could it be, right? There we go. Look at these crowds, though. This is crazy. This part of the zoo's gotten really busy lately. And the train is extremely active. Let me actually check here real quick in terms of profitability. Look at that lifetime profit, 62k. Absolutely worth it. Could probably actually up the prices a little bit. Oh, on the topic of people complaining about service, let's just quickly take a look at staff here and start upgrading some of these lower tier individuals. There we go. Maybe that's why I'm seeing trouble, because I've gotten so used to having only high-ranking employees. So all the newer guys are having a harder time keeping up with everything. That seems reasonable. Tickets are a steal at the moment. Ah, looks like we are, in fact, undercharging. We are undercharging. I want to do all this, and I want to change their staff room perks as well. I want to get them the perks that make guests happier and things like that. Oh, folks, we're at 5 stars. We're at 5 stars. That's great. I just noticed. I looked down to see the happiness rating, and that's wonderful. Happiness is still happiness itself is the key issue. But at least we are ranking at 5 stars. That's amazing. So okay, if the trains are a steal, I have to turn them off to change the price, don't I? Ah, it's so silly. No, we don't. Okay, great. So let's go ahead and make you, what, 10? Maybe 12? Let's try 12. All right, let's try 12. And you over here, let's try 12 as well. That's got to be a fine price, right? And then eventually we'll actually extend it so it goes... I'm going to actually have a... Do we want to make a stop at Yanasi Plains? I don't think that... Nah, I don't think that's necessary. We'll go up over here. We'll build our polar bear enclosure and have that stop over here. We'll make sure it goes up to this area as well so people can check out the pandas and whatnot. So the train will come up over here. Maybe loop around, stop off at the... have a little hill station, basically. It'll fit the Himalayas. Have a little hill station and then loop back and come down to here. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. All right, this rain is pretty heavy, but thankfully we've got cover for people in this area now. I'm sure they're happy. I'm not lining up. There's rubbish everywhere. Rubbish everywhere? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Rubbish everywhere. Ooh, there is rubbish everywhere. The peafowl area is largely covered in rubbish. We've got some rubbish over here. Well, that's not ideal, but hopefully it'll get cleaned up soon. This is a very high traffic area. So that got cleaned up. There we go, buddy's going in. All right, it was just a matter of timing. Looks like we're doing okay. Looks like we're doing okay. Another VIP guest has arrived. Say hello to you. And to you as well. Don't know if I actually got any credits out of them, but... Oh, no. No, not another one. Did she drown? Died of old age. Man, I really got to get that memorial going. And I have plans for it. Don't worry. The number of those that passed away doesn't matter. We're fine for naming them. Willoughby is getting a little old. Actually, a lot of them are getting really old. There's Tapir overcrowding. Go ahead and get rid of the youngest one, I suppose. Depends on who's got weaker genes. So, that was cute. I don't know what he was doing, but that was cute. 8350, and where is our friend here? What a cutie. What a cutie. Oh, you're really not that good, are you? Let's go ahead and release you into the wild. Not that good genetically. Let's release you into the wild. It's an adult, but it still has the, baby stripes. There we go. You know, I should have actually checked their age first. Come on, I don't want to select the bushes. Okay, you're an adult, you're fine, and you are also fine. Okay, they're not too old or anything. Good crowds down over here. We haven't been here in a while, actually. Good crowds, good money. Nice and busy. The bears over here as well. Oh my god, what a cutie. Just the ear wiggles. I mean, just the ear wiggles. Oh my god. I'm so glad I was here for that kung fu get-up, attempt, I guess. Anyway. Oh, it's still raining. Okay. I was like, let's get to our next time lapse, but it is still raining. Well, since it's still raining, let's just take a peek around and see how things are doing. Crowds here aren't as big, but people are able to sit down and rest, so that's good. Idling at bench. That's good. That's good. These guys hopefully still making us money. Somewhat. Washrooms are being used, it looks like, so that's good. Yeah, it's not as crowded over here, but I guess that's because it's not as new anymore. But this area is very crowded. Wish I had a donation bin over here. I've got this one. Seems as though it's too far away. Okay, well, let's go ahead and move you over to there. And let's make sure that these guys don't feel left out. Let's put one over here. Cool. Do we have a speaker? We do. And it is speaking. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's take a quick peek over here at the Tigers, how they're doing. It looks like we've solved our boxing problem now that we've moved this stuff around. But are they, where are they? Are they hiding right now? Oh, look at you. Look at you, you little cutie. Going all the way over to here as well. That's awesome. If I could, I mean, can you imagine actually seeing this in real life? Where are mommy and daddy? There they are. Mommy and daddy both. I guess they're enjoying the rain a little bit. Cooling off maybe. This, I can't get over this. That's what I was waiting for. I just can't. I can't even. I can't even. And how are our elephants doing? They're doing okay as well. I would really like them. Yes! Yeah, baby. I mean that in all senses of the phrase. Oh, and they've really been rolling this thing around. I wish I could catch them doing that, but okay, they're still enjoying it. We're gonna have a baby elephant soon. That'll make them happy. Are people still tucking away over here and viewing? Yes, they are. Good stuff, good stuff. This is not as good a viewpoint, but that definitely is. This is wonderful. So December of this year. No, oh my god, the gestation period. What is it? I didn't realize it was that long. Where are we? Where are we? I know it lists it somewhere. 22 months. Wow. Almost 2 years. I didn't know that. And then 96 months afterwards. And of course, we're playing with the birth rate, or rather the growth rate reduced, right? So that's affected as well, of course. How are these elephants doing for us? They're doing decently. There we go. Okay, people are really kind of going pretty far. People are going all around for this, which is neat. Going home. Like the view of the elephants, that's good. What an amazing day, even though it's mediocre for some reason. Toilet blocks are free. Yes, what a nice zoo. I agree. I want to go on the riverboat ride. Why can't they give the Indian elephants some company? Don't worry, they're making their own company. I mean, I could get, again, I could. Let's see if we have better options now. We have better options for the Indian elephant. Filter you. We want another female, right? Oof, that's an expensive animal. Not letting me click on anything. Okay, John B. Oh. Immunity is really low. Nacho world. But very cheap as well. You know what? 12.9 years. Just got put up. 588. Sure. Go ahead and move you into quarantine first, of course. And then we'll get you in. Quarantine small. You wouldn't even fit in there. Alright, done. What else have we got going on? Vet research is complete. What do you got for me? Scorpions are done. Giant pandas are almost done as well. I mean, now it's all just advanced research for a lot of these animals until we get our next animal, which we will do once the snow abates, basically. All this, yeah, all these. Yeah, I got very lucky with diseases. Some of you were mentioning it's like I got very lucky with disease because some of you get diseases like every 5 minutes there's a new disease, but I suppose I've been fortunate. Yeah, we're just helping with education now, eh? Oh, hang on. I'm pretty sure some of these things... I don't remember... That is what it is. Advanced research bonus. I guess, hold on, let me check something actually. I want to see that bar. It's right around the D. So if I put, let's say, Tia Kaiser working on... What? What do we want you working on? Get back on the polar bears? Actually, you know what? We're going to leave it be for now because we're about to get a new animal and we'll need someone to research that. Now, why is this a problem? Are we not servicing the water treatment plant? Wait, where's my water treatment plant? Did I? I put one down, right? What's going on right now? I could have sworn I put one down right at the start of this session. Am I losing my mind? Did I think about putting it down, but then didn't actually put it down? Or did the game crash at some point? I guess the game crashed at some point. Must have been. That's the only thing that comes to mind right now. But anyway, okay, it is what it is. Let's just make sure it's in the right work zone. Yeah, this all seems very familiar. It's like not just a sense of deja vu. This all seems very familiar. Now, hang on a second. Is this thing not in a work zone? I think it is. All right, let's go ahead and play now. We should be able to clean that up, no problem. We should be able to clean that up, no problem. All right, good stuff. This snow has got to go. Snow in July. I mean, hey, northern Canada, I wouldn't be surprised. It's like Winnipeg, it snows all the time. We're good, we're good. Any crazy things? So, increase grizzly bear education rate to 29%. Release 2 Bengal tigers to the wild. Adopt and place 4 different habitat species. I mean, we can take a look at the Bengal tigers. Let me just see what goes on over here again. I hope it doesn't just do a half load. I know I said any load is acceptable, but when there's a huge queue, at least let everybody come in, right? You'd expect that to be understood. So let's see what happens here. All right. That is better. It's still not a full load. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Nonetheless, let me just check on these trains again really quickly. Looks like people are still lining up. Great value, so I guess I could up the price a bit more as well. Zoo ticket price is fair. There's litter on the path. Yikes. The litter's becoming a serious problem, isn't it? Quarantine pass, ready to leave. All right, Tanvi, let's go ahead and move you back to their original habitat, but you were never at a habitat. Anyway, to the Ivory Palace you go. How are these elephants doing? Are they hiding from the snow? And if so, where? There we go. Oh, so they'd rather hide over here, I guess, than in the spots I made for them. Don't really want to stop them from hiding out over here if they wanted to. But I don't know how people feel about the views. Like, a big part of me... This is the worst view of an Indian elephant I've ever seen. You're English, right? Yeah, I mean... I could change the floor into, like, glass or something, I guess. A big part of me cares more for our animals than it does for the views that people are getting. Right? Like... You know what I mean? I mean, I could change the resting spots a little bit so the views aren't that bad. Because if they're unhappy, we get refunds. And if we get refunds, we can't really... The way I see it is getting refunds is bad for the animals. It's not about just the business. Bad for the animals as well. Where's the closest heater over here? I want something with a reasonable temperature. There we go. You. 20 degrees is definitely reasonable. Go ahead and put you down over here. Warm this area up. We can afford the heating fees. Alright, so let's see. We'll wait until they leave, which they have done. Well, one of them has done. I saw this thing and I thought it was an elephant. And like I could start blocking some of these off. Well, right now we have to clean, so. What's going on over here? You've come through. You should be cleaning, hopefully. Yeah. Wait, no, that's a mechanic. Call a keeper over here. Shanghai in the sky without a vendor for a long time. Why is that? I guess the vendors are resting too far away. That's fine. We'll the perfection of this area is Shanghai in the sky. The perfection of that area is not something I'm rushing right now. We'll do that once we've taken care of other things. Again, right now, just waiting for the snow to go so we can get to work. I greatly appreciate that. This whole year was just covered in snow, wasn't it? Feels like it. Peafowl Punch looks busy. Not impressed by the view of the Indian peafowl. I'm back to Gulp Tea when it's less busy. All right, people are getting a little grumpy. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. Oh my god, that makes me think of Full House, like the original series, not the new one. I haven't seen the new one. I've been to better zoos. That's a lie. Andy Schmidt is a liar. Diana Cornelius, ticket price is fair. Want to go on rides, etc., etc. Really refreshing. Hope the snow doesn't last too long. I can't help you with that. It's like everything's pretty good, but these guys, I mean, maybe they just came through, right? Maybe they just came through. These lineups, though, wild. These lineups are wild. Now, why don't they just come up here? There's so much more food up over here. The vendors are here waiting for you as well. It's turned into a mini tour, actually. But no, the snow has gone, folks. The snow is gone, so I think it's time to get to work on the next and final time lapse for the day. This session actually, it looks like it's going to end up a little bit longer, only because I don't want to disappoint on promises, I guess. You know what? I can't even remember if I said it, because I thought I put down a water treatment plant, but it turns out I didn't. So I don't know if I said it or not, but we're working on the flamingos. Now, the title probably made it clear if I had the opportunity to actually get the flamingos in, but we're working on the flamingos. So, folks, it's time-lapse time. All right, folks, it is time for the flamingos. By far the most highly requested next step in the comments. So, like I said, I read all the comments. If you want your voice heard, it's a great way to have it heard. But yeah, I asked what y'all want to see next, what we should prioritize next, and it was like 80 to 90% suggested we get the flamingos down here, and then maybe do Yanasi Plains next. Do flamingos, maybe camels, and then Yanasi Plains next. So let me know what you want to see next. But for now, though, we, as you can see, just struggling with the path and the barrier system over there. Use a little hack there, move the barrier over so that I could actually have a branching path come out, and then push the barrier back to its original place because it was being difficult. Just a little silly, I think. But back to what we're doing right here. We're actually trying to build some gazebos, and I wanted to have the path be flush to the ground, but unfortunately the game doesn't want to do that. So instead, we have it hovering above the ground, and I try to make them relatively small. I have a tendency to oversize these things. I have a tendency to make them way too big, so I'm trying to make them a little bit smaller this time around. And you can see also I'm trying to make multiple entry and exit points as well, so people can come through this area. Again, it's a shared space with the flamingos, between flamingos and people. You come through this area, you go out and around, and you can either go straight towards the elephants or towards the tigers. But within this area as well, we have these gazebos that I want people to hopefully be chilling at. And I don't know if I'll put food and stuff down, but we'll discuss that later, I think. And you can see right away, just building this barrier so I have an idea of the size of the place. It might be a little too large, but if I'm completely honest, I'm looking for a nice, big, colorful space. We're going to add a ton of vegetation. We're going to hopefully have a lot of flamingos as well, and hopefully it'll be a pretty crowded space. I mean, maybe I'll get some vendors in here. I don't know. Maybe I'll get some vendors in here. For now, they're going around putting in the chain link fence and putting in the entrance as well for the guests to come through. And again, I don't like that it's such a narrow entry point. So what I just do is I decide to just build 2 entry points. And so as people come through, they will hopefully use both rather than all just take the path of least resistance or the shortest path. But we'll see how that plays out. And over here you can see as well, just having to struggle with this and put the entrance down, but I can't fit 2, unfortunately. So on this side, we just have the 1 entrance. On the other side, we have 2. And then the chain link fence kind of, sealing things off. And oh no, you know what? I completely forgot about this. I actually end up with 2 entrances over here as well. They're just a little further apart from each other. And then I create this little, I really like the, more complicated path layout. It's not just about going and walking through and seeing the animals. You can actually meander in the area and just relax a little bit. I'll put down a fountain and stuff. We'll have some more sights to see. I'm going to put down some benches right now. Again, so these little floating circles, I can't remember now if I already mentioned it, but they're supposed to be gazebos. So, going to have some benches in there so people can sit down and enjoy the view or enjoy a quick bite. So I got to remember to put down some bins and stuff as well. Yeah, overall, like the space we've given them, it's going to be a bit too much for flamingos, but we have this space reserved, so I'm going to make up for it by adding just a ton of vegetation. Now, architecturally over here, I was unsure at first what I wanted to do, and I think you'll be able to tell. So I check here very quickly. The greater flamingo does live in India, it lives in Africa, it lives in Europe, it lives in the Middle East, and considering where we're placing it in our zoo, I wanted it to feel like, well, at first I wanted it to feel Indian, and I was like, yeah, that'll do the trick. We're in the India area, makes sense. And then as I start placing this down and doing the good old-fashioned symmetry, copy, paste, and rotate trick, I like how it's looking. But I realized that maybe this isn't perfect. Maybe what I need to do is, you'll see I start messing around with some of these pieces. Maybe what I need to do is I need to change things up a little bit. Now, I've mentioned this previously. I'll mention it again now because it's fitting. You can see me here rethinking all my life decisions that led me up to this point. India and Greece have a history of trade. When I say a history of, I mean a history of. Not only that, but flamingos are very prevalent in the Middle East, and the Middle East has a history of trade, of course, with the Greeks as well. There are Hellenic cultures there, and a lot of Hellenic architecture. If you're not familiar with that term, I'd suggest you look it up. But basically, it means Greek. I mean, I think is the quick and dirty way to put it. Greco-Roman, maybe. But point being, the entirety of the Middle East and that path through into South Asia, specifically India, we can trace this kind of like architectural history, I suppose. Now, I'll be completely frank, I'll be completely honest, because I think that's very important when we're talking about information and the potential for misinformation. I do not know if this exact type of architecture is very prevalent in the Middle East. You will find it in parts of the Middle East. Like if you look back at, Alexander the Great's conquests and stuff, that legacy has been left behind, obviously, in culture and aesthetic in many ways. But in India, we do also see this kind of architecture. But again, I mean, what the pieces the game give you are pure, Greco-Roman architectural pieces. So it's not 100% accurate, but I wanted to go for something, notionally go for something that, we can understand with the theater of our minds. We can understand what it's supposed to be and what it's supposed to represent, because we've seen a lot of Indian style architecture that is, it's weird saying native to the region, because it's not like this stuff didn't end up becoming native to the region, but you know what I mean. Like, we've seen stereotypical Indian style architecture there, let's call it that. And I thought it'd be interesting to blend it with now something that's maybe a little unexpected, but also belongs. Jeez, I'm having a horrible time expressing myself over here. But hopefully you understand what I'm going for. Nonetheless, playing around with these pieces. Now, this is my first time playing around with these classical pieces, so you can kind of tell maybe that I'm struggling a little bit to see how they all maybe fit together and work together. But with that said, I am still enjoying how they look together. I can't find the right roof piece right now, as you can see. I kind of was spending some time struggling looking for a roof piece, but I thought, okay, whatever, we'll come back to that later. And again, I don't have as much familiarity with this, like real life familiarity with this type of architecture. I've seen it a lot when I was a lot younger, unfortunately. And I mean, I guess I could take a walk down the street and see it. But when I'm looking at buildings in Toronto, I'm not really looking at them with the same kind of, oh yes, let's look at every little detail, kind of an eye, I guess. So maybe I should do that, take a walk down the streets and just get an understanding of how some of these pieces might work together. Because we do get a lot of this kind of building in Toronto. Especially at the universities and stuff like that. But you can see I'm kind of messing around with arch pieces, messing around with, as many shapes as possible to get the roof done. And ultimately, I decide to settle on floor pieces because they actually work really nicely. Because not only do they give a nice flat top, which I think looks right, but I'm also able to nudge them in for a second layer and get that nice little ridge shape. So this is starting to feel like a nice roof, actually. I might actually keep it this way. I'm definitely open to suggestions, folks. If you have any thoughts or opinions, let me know in the comments as always, and I'm curious to see what you think. And you can see I also add a little fountain over there. Just again, I want to make this a nice relaxing area where people can come through and see some sights that aren't just animals, but also, of course, see animals because they're in a zoo. Anyway, folks, this is actually where I call it a time lapse because I was feeling a little tired and also a little uncomfortable with some of these pieces. So just the last couple things we do, and we'll come back to the flamingos enclosure next time. All right, folks, that's where we're gonna call it a time lapse. I think I think. I mean, I'm not sure what I will have had said. It's like future past tense. I'm going to record it in the future, but it happened before I'm talking now for you. I don't know what I will have had said in the time lapse. Still don't know if that makes sense, but I'm overall liking how things are coming together over here, but just having, I don't know, and you may have been able to tell as well, it might be a mix of fatigue, it might be fatigue mixed with unfamiliarity with the pieces, but just having a bit of a time trying to get all the pieces to cooperate with me. But as you can see, sort of building these little gazebo areas so you can come in, sit down, and take a look at the animals while relaxing. I don't know, and I'm curious to hear your opinion, which is also part of the reason why I wanted to stop at this point. I don't know if I want to put food spaces within this area. It's a walkthrough, right? So flamingos are, oh man, I'm pretty sure I checked this previously. Yeah, neutral relation with humans, guests can enter. So like we'd be fine to put some eateries down, like put some vendors down, but I don't know if I want to, if I'm completely honest. I kind of want this to be a more, sorry, I just realized this barrier is a bit of a problem. I want this to be a bit more of a relaxed space. I want people to be able to walk through and just kind of meander and push through and then come out the other side and either go check out the tigers that way or go towards the elephants. There's a couple ways to go, and then what I can do is over here put down some toilets and food spots and things like that, so people are able to grab food and stuff over here, use the washroom over here, they can move through, and then if they need it, they can use it over here, or they can pick stuff up over here and pick stuff up over here, and then come in and chill among the flamingos. They can, oh no. They can flamingle with the flamingos. Okay. I kind of feel bad about that one. But yeah, so overall, I just got to clear this out. Overall, feeling pretty happy about how this has come together. If I could just get this thing to cooperate, though. Go ahead and keep you at your maximum width over here. Do that. Do this kind of thing. Sorry about that, folks. Sorry about this little sidestep from our original. There we go. Done. Cool. Sorry, I didn't realize that in the middle of the time lapse session. So the hope is that, yeah, people will be able to come through, hang out with the flamingos, and then push through in either direction, and yeah, we'll fill out this space. Obviously, there's a lot of vegetation and stuff to put in, but before we do that, I of course want to get some of the animals in. As y'all know, I like to. Oh my God, 10 to 500. I didn't notice that before. We're gonna keep it pretty minimal. What is their ideal group size? Like, can we go with just 3 or 4? Because I'd like to, yeah, keep them sequestered in this little area over here, running around. It should be interesting to see, and you kind of transition through the Middle East / India, which is like part of the reason why I'm going for this kind of, Hellenic, Greco-Roman, Greco-Indian kind of architecture stuff. There was a lot of architectural and cultural trade, right? So it makes sense from that perspective. The right pieces aren't available, but that's the intent we're going for. But I think it's a nice transitional area and whatnot. However, enough, yammering. Let's go ahead and get some animals in here. I'm looking for animal trading. Flamingos can't be too expensive, right? They've got to be pretty cheap. They got to be pretty cheap. Where are we? Greater flamingo. Not just a flamingo, it's a greater flamingo. Oh, of course, I closed without the filter actually activated. Come on now. There we go. Wow, 1,500 for a flamingo? Are you kidding me? No way they're worth that much. Come on now. Hey, that's a bit more reasonable. So we've got ourselves a male Imtiyaz. Okay, so we're definitely going with like Arabic names. Imtiyaz. I'm wondering if that's more Middle East Arabic or more South Asia Arabic. Imtiyaz. Let's go ahead and adopt you. It's not North Africa. Well, I'm calling that Arabic is kind of a. I'm going way back in history now. I'm talking about the expansion. No, trying to place these names. Qadir, Wasif, Riyaz. Interesting. Okay, just trying to figure out what the game wants to represent flamingos as, because again, just as a reminder, they're pretty widespread, right? Like Imtiyaz is not a French name, right? So I just thought it was interesting to see what the game kind of intends them to be used as. Wow, right didn't actually go for the asking price. Let's go ahead and go for 75, right? Anyway, sorry, I got distracted there. So we have Imtiyaz Better flamingo with decent stats, 3.2 years old. Let's go ahead and get Nasima over here, 500, pretty good stats. Definitely want a female. Not looking to spend that much on one. Let's go ahead and take a look at just cash listings. I expected them, if I'm honest, to be completely, like, significantly cheaper. Significantly cheaper. Come on now. Come on now. There we go. Just had to find which one the game would let me click on. Yeah, none of these are really good, so we'll go with the with one that costs conservation credits. Well, we kind of have to. 500 is a bit much. We have a lot, to be honest. 500 still feels like a bit much. I want to make sure we're getting a female here. Kind of tempted to not even get a breeding pair, if I'm honest. 500, 445, 100, 19. Someone just wants to get rid of this guy. Yumna. Ooh, okay, 6. I mean, I guess 500 isn't that bad. We'll still be just under 4K conservation. Or sorry, wow, I was looking at my guess count. We'll be just above 2K. I mean, it's still a decent number. How are you so expensive? No way you're worth that much. Look, let's get Yumna here. Longevity's a bit on the shorter side. She's a little old already, but for 19 conservation credits, you can't really go wrong, right? You can't really go wrong. We'll breed them up. Okay, so hopefully we can go ahead and we can flamingo ahead and okay, we're okay. We're okay. Let's just use this method, even though this has actually ended up becoming more clicks already. Where are we? Greater. Is it the greater flamingo? The great flamingo? The giant flamingo? What does the game call it? The greater flamingo. So why can I not see it over here? You know what? Okay, let's just keep it simple. Keep it simple, silly. Move you. Well, first of all, I guess to quarantine. Right, we got to make sure that we are not making a big goof over here. Move you to quarantine, and let's go ahead and get your friend into quarantine as well. Pop you in there. That won't take very long. Over here, we need a name for this habitat as well. So if y'all have any name suggestions, let me know. The Flamingo mingle station kind of a thing. You come here, you hang out. It's going to be a garden for sure. Lots of colors, I'm hoping. But yeah, definitely shoot me your name suggestions for this area. But it'll be nice to fill this area out. And once we actually finish the enclosure, you can just see them running in there. That's so cute. Once they finish the enclosure, once I finish the enclosure, I'm going to add more vegetation around the area as well. And I hope this isn't too, I mean, it's got to be scary. Oh, you know what? There's enough clearance. Quarantine full. No, they're just going in one at a time. All right. Pretty happy, pretty pleased with how this has gone on so far. Don't go in there. There's nothing to see in there yet. Oh, God, no. People are going to go in there and there are no bins. I need bins. I need bins. I want classic bins. What does a classic bin look like? What? That looks like trash. Oh, man. Feel pretty good about that one. That one I feel good about. Let's go with New World bins. Put you down over here. People are animals. Put you down over here. One over there. Put one over here. Look at that. People really wanted this shortcut, didn't they? Like, there aren't even animals in here. People wanted to use the shortcut. Quarantine's not done yet. It's okay. Handshakes don't really matter right now. We've maxed out our handshakes. Oh, one thing I do need to do, though, is let's go ahead and make sure that this is in... Where should I put this? I guess India entrance makes sense. What am I looking for? Staff. Work zone. India entrance. Let's go ahead and add you, my good friend. So let's go ahead and add you. Sure. Done. And actually, you know what? India center should have it as well. Just to relieve some pressure, some stress. That should do the trick. Quarantine pass, ready to leave. Give it another second and they'll both pass their quarantines, I'm sure. And I'm sure this is not nearly green enough. Not nearly green enough for the flamingos. Let's push you in. And we'll see how they react to the space and make our adjustments immediately. Right now, people have no reason to sit around here, obviously. But soon, that will change. And we'll get our donation bins and stuff in as well. Why are you running? You thieves? Can't wait to... Oh, I guess they're just excited. I really do hate that the entrances... The guest entrances are that small. It's like, why? Why do that? Why do that? And now, can you actually deliver the animal just at the habitat entrance, or do you have to go to the staff entrance? No, they go all the way to the staff entrance. Are you kidding me? That's kind of funny. Either way, I just realized I need to go ahead and connect that. Well, actually, I don't. Right? What am I saying? Look at that. They cut through, go around, and drop them off. That's just silly. That's just a little goofy. All right, there we go. Number 1 and number 2. They are such beautiful animals. I give them a fair bit of water space as well. I wonder if they'll need more, actually. Terrain, they're pretty happy with their land. Again, there's going to be so many of them that eventually it's not going to be enough. Not enough rock. Everything else is pretty spot on, so that's good. Let's go ahead and... right into the water. Right into the water. Go ahead and add some rock, perhaps. They actually need a fair bit of rock. A surprising amount of rock, actually. Which is fine by me, actually. I was going to do a rock sculpt... not a sculpture, but like a rock space over here in the center. So that works out nicely, and looks like even that's not enough, so... very interesting. I love learning these little, like, things. I would have never expected, they want rock. Not the comfiest thing to walk on, unfortunately, but... Animals first. There we go. Cool, so they're happy with that. Their environment, their coverage, I mean, we can add a lot more, obviously, and you bet we will. You bet we will, but, yeah, that's pretty good. Let's go ahead and get our staff. Oh, when I say that's pretty good, I mean, it's, we were starting at a pretty good baseline. I expected it to be a lot worse off, so let's get you researching the greater flamingo, and, yeah, that's what these little guys look like. Are they actually, sorry, one thing I need to check is social. Social group is too small. Too few adults and juveniles in animal social group. All right, well, we'll get some more flamingos next time. I'm going to call it a session here, folks. We've been flamingoing on for far too long. I am exhausted, and the footage doesn't even include the kerfuffle with the waterworks down there and whatnot. Resulting in my waterworks. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. I mean, if there's anything I would change right away, it's the lack of supports over here and on the other side as well. As always, I'm curious to hear what y'all think about the idea, the aesthetic, the plans, and I'm always looking for feedback and thoughts. I'm gonna get some more supports on this side as well. Don't worry about it. I'll do that later. That's not bothering me as much. I also need to figure out how to finish off the roofing and how to do like a full-on sculpture garden, basically, is what I want to do here. And I wonder if we extend the water up to there, then we have to get our donation bins and stuff down as well. But either way, folks, new animal added today, and we've completed the elephant enclosure. A pretty productive day, I think. I'm pretty happy with it. I hope y'all are as well. As always, if you enjoyed this session and you'd like to see more and more episodes until we can't even fit the zoo all at once in this end screen like I try to do, if you'd like to see more, let me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, a massive thanks goes out to all of my channel members and patrons for supporting the channel on a monthly basis. You keep us alive and running smoothly. Huge welcome, warm welcome to all the new members and patrons who just joined as of the previous episode. Thank you very much. And of course, thanks to all of the existing patrons and members as well. And on top of that, a massive thanks to each and every one of you who have been watching along, commenting, sharing, liking, subscribing. It's greatly appreciated. And until next time, cheers.